work out anytime, day or night. Well, New York's only 24-hour swim and health club, The Park, offers a 60-foot pool with individual lane swimming, fully equipped gym, and free classes in aerobic dance, yoga, and swimming. The Park Swim and Health Club. Join now and save up to 15% on an annual membership. Call 586-3675. That's 586-3675. West 56th Street, just off Columbus Circle. 586-3675.
This is the Distinguished Jefferson Award, honoring individuals who have performed a significant public service. Now, there are countless public-spirited men and women whose unselfish gift of help to others goes largely unrecognized. I'm Bill McCreary, inviting you to participate with us in singling out individuals for the 1984 Jefferson Awards of the American Institute for Public Service. Now, if you know someone who works to improve the lives of other citizens without thought of personal glory or reward, send us their name, address, and a few brief facts about their contribution to the community. Your suggestions will be screened by a panel of civic leaders and recommended for local Jefferson Awards. Please send your letters to the Public Service Director, WNEW-TV, Channel 5, 205 East 67th Street, New York, New York, 10021. Elected officials are not eligible.
The powerful story of a woman and her music. Diana Ross stars in Lady Sings the Blues, 11 p.m. Saturday on Channel 5. Good morning, this is Tom Gregory with late news headlines, sports, and the weather from the Channel 5 newsroom. The international headlines. Soviet cities are draped in black money and black-bordered hammer and sickle flags as the country prepares for the funeral of President Yuri Andropov. Moscow came to life earlier than usual this morning as dozens lined up to buy newspapers containing official death reports. The national dailies all had virtually identical front pages. They displayed a portrait of Andropov flanked by official statements assuring Soviets that the Leninist course of the communist government will continue. Andropov is to be buried Tuesday in Red Square. Vice President George Bush is to represent the United States at the funeral. President Reagan will not be going, though some lawmakers had urged him to attend as an ice-breaking gesture. Administration officials suggest Mr. Reagan is willing to hold a get-acquainted meeting with the next Soviet leader in an effort to warm the chill in U.S.-Soviet relations. Among those considered as possible successors to Andropov is 72-year-old Konstantin Chernenko. He's heading the commission arranging Andropov's funeral. President Reagan and Secretary of State Schultz say they hope the new leadership in Moscow will join the United States in trying to make the world a safer place. A senior administration official says President Reagan should withdraw all but 200 Marines from Beirut, possibly within a month. The official, who requested anonymity, says he hopes that Lebanese President Amin Gemayel would be able to remain in office despite the deteriorating situation in Lebanon. These top national stories. After logging nearly 3 million miles in orbit, 5 astronauts on the Space Shuttle Challenger plan a first-time landing in Florida this morning at 7:16 Eastern Time. The shuttle's target is a 15,000-foot concrete runway flanked by a moat where alligators lurk. Touchdown on that runway will put the shuttle just 4 miles from the launch pad, where this latest mission began 8 days ago. Previous shuttle flights have landed in California and New Mexico. A blinding fog from Minnesota to Louisiana disrupted travel on land and is blamed for the deaths of 2 people in a plane crash Friday. Meanwhile, a blustery storm dropped more than a foot of snow in parts of the Rockies, and winds gusting to 67 miles per hour knocked out power to thousands of homes in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thunderstorms pelted the south, and hail the size of golf balls clattered on northern Louisiana and southern Arizona. The Reagan administration and economists are blaming the harsh winter weather for an increase of 0.6% in wholesale prices reported by the government Friday. It was the biggest gain in 14 months. Higher costs for pork, beef, and vegetables contributed to a 2.7% jump in food prices last month, the sharpest one-month rise since August of 1980. The Agriculture Department says the nation's orange harvest, crippled by freezing weather last Christmas, has continued to deteriorate. Officials say the latest harvest estimate, about 177 million boxes, means a 21% reduction from last season's output. Officials in the camps of John Glenn and Walter Mondale were sniping at each other on the campaign trail Friday. One Mondale official said the Glenn campaign may be violating federal banking laws. The Glenn campaign charged that Mondale is getting improper financial help from organized labor. The scientists watching the Mount St. Helens volcano are having trouble doing that. Observers flew over the Washington volcano Friday trying to catch a glimpse of its growing dome of molten rock. But cloud cover continued to hide the elusive volcano. Scientists say seismic readings indicate accelerated dome building. The man who invented the artificial heart told a business group in Los Angeles Friday the profit motive is needed to make his device available to more people. Dr. Robert Jarvik defended the private company he set up to develop the heart. Jarvik said the commercial route is simple, direct, and practical. Harvard medical researchers say a study of more than 3,000 women shows that those who have had abortions do not suffer increased sterility. The report, published in the journal Obstetrics and Gynecology, says women who have had abortions have pregnancy rates similar to women who have had children. Now these local items. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority will move slowly to replace the 851 Grumman Flexibles discarded this week, despite the major inconvenience to passengers, according to MTA Chairman Robert Kiley. Kiley predicted the city's 1.7 million bus riders will suffer more than 6 months of overcrowding and delays as a result of the Flexibles' premature retirement for safety reasons. The union representing butchers and delicatessen workers at 4 supermarket chains in New Jersey and New York is scheduled to mail to its members today the proposed contract that ended the 26-day strike, according to officials. Between 20 and 30% of the 7,000 members of the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 464A, who walked off their jobs January 15th, were back at Foodtown, Pathmark, Grand Union, and ShopRite stores on Friday, according to John Nicolai, the union's president. Nicolai said mail ballots will be sent to union members to vote on the proposed pact, which calls for a 6.7% annual pay raise during the 41-month contract. Results of the balloting should be available in 10 days, according to Nicolai. A Manhattan State Supreme Court jury has acquitted Nathaniel Sweeper of the murder and the slaying of a New Jersey man in a case which gained notoriety when a key prosecution witness was gunned down hours after his identity was revealed in court. The jury of 11 women and 1 man returned the verdict late Friday, following a 3-day trial and 3 days of deliberations. Guard dogs, now employed to patrol New Jersey transit trains and New York City subways, may soon walk the beat on PATH trains, according to officials for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. The bi-state agency, which also proposed to have dog patrols in its Manhattan bus terminal, said the plan was not prompted by an increase in crimes at its facilities. It's just part of our general experimentation in developing more effective law enforcement techniques, according to an agency spokesman. Now turning to sports. On the boards in the NBA, the Knicks breezed by the Jazz 121-111. Washington topped Los Angeles 96-93. The Celtics out-dribbled Houston 114-101. The Pistons routed the Warriors 134-116. The Bulls over the Sixers 100-91. Cleveland 95, Seattle 90. Dallas down Kansas City 115-96. The Bucks fell to the Spurs 132-127. The Trailblazers posted a 123-117 win over the Nuggets, and San Diego outpointed Atlanta 113-101. In the only scheduled NHL activity, Quebec at Winnipeg, the game was postponed because the Nordiques plane was unable to land at Winnipeg's fog-shrouded airport. Now a look at the weather. Current temperature reading at 47 degrees, humidity 94%, barometer at 30.33 inches, and it's falling. Mostly cloudy overnight is the word from the weatherman, with a shower possible, the low 35 to 40. Later today, variable cloudiness, a few showers possible, high in the upper 40s to the low 50s. Sunday, early morning clouds and fog, then becoming sunny and mild, with a high in the mid-50s. Breezy and continued mild Monday, with a high around 50. Repeating the current temperature reading, 47 degrees. And there you have the late news headlines, sports, and weather from the Channel 5 newsroom. Good morning, Tom Gregory reporting.
When the world should all be sleeping and the melody comes creeping, it's no cabaret at the Milkman's matinee.
party's just about over here at Channel 5, but the fun's just beginning on America's original all-night music show. This is Marty Wilson inviting you to tune in to 1130 on your AM dial for the Milkman's Matinee all night long on WNEW, Metro Media Radio in New York, WNEW, where the melody lingers on.
It's round one of the Star Search Superstar Playoffs. 16 of America's hottest are going head-to-head on the next Star Search.
8 p.m. Sunday on Channel 5.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're all gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or talk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
This is television station WNEW-TV, Channel 5, New York, owned and operated by Metro Media Incorporated, with transmitter atop the World Trade Center and executive offices and studios located at 205 East 67th Street in New York City. WNEW-TV operates on an assigned frequency of 76 to 82 megahertz as authorized by the Federal Communications Commission. Some programs and portions of programs presented by this station have been recorded. WNEW-TV's entire broadcast schedule is a copyrighted original compilation work. No recording, retransmission, or other use may be made of WNEW-TV's programming without the express prior written consent of Metro Media Incorporated. Good night.